All right, summer league is right around the corner, and there's a couple players we need to see dominate at summer league because they're on the roster, and with them being on the roster, it feels like they need to dominate at summer league. And the player I want to talk about in this video is none other than Isaiah Livers, the man out of Michigan. Our possibly starting four. I doubt it. He won't be, but you never know. But he needs to be one of these players that takes the next step. Isaiah Livers has played a total of 71 games. And I know that sounds interesting. He has battled injuries. He battled injuries his last year or two at U of M. He needs to prove a couple things in this season. But first, let's talk about Summer League. And I have really like 2, 3, 4 things that I would love to see. And I think Pistons fans and the coaching staff needs to see out of Isaiah Livers. Number one, can you be healthy? Okay, can you be healthy through just 4 or 5 games at Summer League? Last year, we saw him go out there. I think he hurt his ankle a little bit, maybe tweaked it. Like there's a lot of things that happen. He only played 19 games as a rookie. And then in his second year, he played 52. But if he was healthy and available, he would have played 82. He was that kind of guy that we wanted to have out there. Remember, this is the guy where we said we can trade Sadiq Bey because we have this guy. So here's the next thing I want to see from him at Summer League. Is he the best player on the floor at times? He should be a top 2 or 3 player on the floor at all times when he's playing in Summer League. He's going up against good players, but not to the level that he should be if we expect him to be a rotation player, whether he's a starter at 4 or whether he's the second man off the bench or your first player off the bench at the 4 position and sometimes at the 3. We need to see a guy who can dominate the Summer League competition. Last year in Summer League, we saw him show athleticism that we did not know he had. He blocked a couple shots that were just ridiculous. Okay. But he also mightily struggled with his shot. And then going into the regular season, he actually got worse in almost every statistical category from his rookie year. Now, I know his rookie year, like I said, was 19 games. And his second year was 52. He played 23 minutes in his second year, and he averaged 6.7 points. Compared to his rookie year, it was 20 and 6.4. Those are the only main categories that he improved. His field goal percentage went from 45.6 as a rookie to 41.7. His three-point percentage went from 42.2, that's elite, to 36.5. That's okay. It's I guess good. Okay, it's okay. It's fine. He went from 3 rebounds to 2.8, 1.1 assists to 0.8 assists, 0.7 steals to 0.5, half a steal. He did not get better. And I don't know if it was because he was playing with some injury stuff. I don't know if it was the way he was utilized, but he just didn't manifest. And I understand this was a second round pick. So, like, what are we expecting? I want Isaiah Livers to go out and say, you don't need Bojan Bogdanovic, you have me. That's what I want him to say. I want him to, and even if it's not Bogey, I want him to go out and say, you don't need Joe Harris, a guy who's on a $19 million expiring contract. You have me. I want Isaiah Livers to go out and prove that Joe Harris needs to stay on the bench. I want Isaiah Livers to go out and say, you know what? The Isaiah Stewart, Marvin Bagley, especially Bagley, the Marvin Bagley at power forward experiment ends now because I'm on your roster. I'm your power forward. Isaiah Stewart and me, we lock it down. We're locking it down. And if you need extra minutes at the 3 because Asar Thompson isn't ready, I'm your guy. That's what Isaiah Livers has to go out and prove. Like, he has to decide what he's going to be in this. I think the other one that he has to decide is, are you a good shooter or are you a great shooter? 36.5 is good. It's good. He was much better than that in college. He was much better than that. He was over 40%. I think he was 41 and some odd change percent from the 3-point line in college. He proved he could do it in the beginning of his rookie year. And then for some reason, the shooting left. I don't know what happened over the summer. You don't know if it's injuries. You don't know if it's a mental thing. You don't know where he's at. But what does Livers want? Are you a good shooter or are you an elite shooter? Here's my next one. I didn't think I was going to talk about this. Where's your body at? Like Isaiah Livers has always shown that he's a pretty good athlete. He's always had a pretty big frame, but he's never been cut necessarily. And I think like you can say, all right, well, maybe that's his body type. Not everybody's that. But at the same time, when you start looking at the injuries that started piling up at the back end of his collegiate career, the injuries that were very much prevalent in his first 2 years in the NBA, you have to start asking yourself the question, and he has to ask himself the question, how well am I training and physically where am I at? Is my body prepared for the physicality of the NBA game? That's a real question. And hopefully, like, I get it. What are you going to do with ankles? Like, I get it. I mean, but you'd be surprised what happens to your ankles when you're carrying around an extra 10 pounds. Trust me. I know. All right. And this isn't 10 pounds. Let me just say that. So, like, things happen. So, I think the Pistons need to see him be dominant at Summer League. Dominant. And you can let me know, is there another player that you think we need to see be dominant? I think Ivy's already proven enough. I would love to see Wiseman dominate Durant. Like these guys that have played at times, I'd love to see them go out there and it just looks like they're boys amongst men. That's the wrong thing to say. It's men amongst boys. I want them to look like they're playing against their children out there. That's what we need to see. Then we can be like, all right, they're going to go out and compete at the NBA level. But if they run out there with Sasser and Asar Thompson, and they run out there with Wiseman and Duran and Jaden Ivey, and they're not just destroying people with that lineup, or the players aren't out so fast, like after playing a game or two. I'm talking about guys like Ivy. I'm talking about Duran because they played so well. Then there's a lot of work to be done. Monty, you got your work cut out for you before October 21st or whatever the first game is. So yeah, that's where we're at. What are your thoughts? Can we just talk Summer League for a second? Like, am I the only one who just gets giddy about Summer League? I think the Pistons play their first game. Is it the 8th? Is it the 7th? I think Summer League starts on the 7th and the Pistons start on the 8th. I'm not 100% positive. I have a picture of it on my phone, what the Summer League schedule is, but I record every game. I watch Pistons games. I watch the other teams. I just love Summer League. And I don't know if it's because it's in the middle of the just butthole of winter and not winter, summer, when like no sports are happening outside of baseball. And we got Wimbledon right now. And I love me some Wimbledon. All right. But I don't know what it is. Summer League is just like the ultimate hope experience. And it's just so nuts to me that a professional league has players playing in the offseason. Like, where else do you see that? You don't get to watch professional players playing baseball in the winter. You don't get to see NFL football players playing right now. You don't get to see any of that. But NBA Summer League, you have these young guys that are trying to make teams and trying to make a name for themselves. And then you have these studs that were just drafted weeks ago. And they're all playing basketball together. And I love it. I love it. So I love NBA Summer League. Hope you do too. This is the place for content. We're going to be breaking down how Summer League's going. We're going to be talking about it. So we're going to talk about it, what we're seeing, what it means for the future, and all that good stuff, because you can pull some things out of Summer League. There's no doubt about that. All right. We'll see y'all in the next one. Happy Summer League.